Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog and to my YouTube channel at stampwithelaine.com. Today's project is a long, slim Mother's Day card, and I'm using both bundles in the Perennial Lavender Suite collection. You'll find this on pages 22 to 25 of the January to April 2024 mini catalogue. It's a bumper suite because it has two bundles. It features the Painted Lavender bundle and also the Perennial Postage bundle. Both of these have coordinating dies, but one of them, the Painted Lavender, doesn't have any words, but the other one does. The Perennial Postage one does. I wanted to make a long slim card because this paper is so pretty. I didn't really want to cover it up. And also in the suite you can get these laser cut butterflies, and there are 8 sheets with 5 butterflies on each sheet. I've used 2 of them obviously, and they come in a pack of 8, so there's 40 butterflies in all. They are left white so that you can colour them with a blending brush or a sponge dauber in any colour you want to match your card. I'm also going to be using the fine purple shimmer gems. So there's the first bundle in Painted Lavender, and I'm going to be using this image here and the stems there, and these are the dies. Cut them out, so I'm only going to be using this one and this one. And for the sentiment I'm using the other bundle, Happy Mother's Day, and using these dies, using the largest of them. And this gets a second square, these two. And you'll notice that this is narrower than this piece here, so I'll show you how to make it smaller. In the More to Celebrate flyer, items were added on the 1st of February and will be available until the 29th of February, subject to a qualifying order. Now, one of the items in this new release is these Stripes and Splatters 3D embossing folders. So with a £45 order you can get these for free. Some of the items they've included is a bumper pack of the delightfully eclectic papers. I think there's 48 sheets in the pack for this one. It's the Just Kiddin' papers, 2 stamp sets, a notebook, a card kit, sweet thoughts and memories and more, cards and envelopes. And with a £90 spend you can get this set of 2023 new core colours in the Stamp and Write markers or a dragonfly punch. So I'm using the striped one, which is the one you can see here. The inks I'm using are Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape and Shaded Spruce, and you also need a blending brush. The other item I need is the silver and white sheer ribbon. I've cut the card base in basic white thick, and it's 7 inches across by 8 1/4 inches and folded in half. In metric that's 18 centimeters by 21 centimeters. I have 2 matte layers in Highland Heather, one for the inside and one for the front of the card, and both these measure 3 1/4 by 8 inches, which is 8 centimeters by 20 centimeters. I'm going to adhere this to the inside of the card so I don't mislay it, and you want to leave an even border all round. And a scrap of Highland Heather to stamp and die cut your sentiment with. Now these are the papers from the Perennial Lavender 12 by 12 inch sheets, and I've chosen this pattern. They've both been cut at 3 inches by 7 3/4 inches in metric. That's 7.5 by 19.5 centimeters. So let's glue that to the center. You want a scrap of basic white, and this is 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, so that it will fit the die on it. Okay, I'm going to secure that with washi tape because I don't want the die to move. Here's my cutting sandwich: platform 1, platform 2, the thin die adapter, the base cutting plate, cardstock with the die cutting edge face down, and a second platform 3, and I'll run that through the machine. Now here's the tip: cut the other side with the same edge, so it's best to switch your plates around so that the marked plate is on top and the top plate is now at the bottom. You want to place your die so that the cutting edge is face up, and remember to flip the card over because this is the front and that's the back, but you want it to fit inside the previous die cuts. Okay, so that fits now. You want to secure it as well. You don't want the cardstock to move. And place it on top. Make sure you hold on to it tight so that it doesn't shift, and die cut it. Now you want to swap plates, so you only need platform 1 and the grey platform 4, because this is a 3D embossing folder and it's thicker. Put your cardstock in, the right side face down, line it up with that line there so you know it's straight. Close the embossing folder, place that platform 4 on top and run it through the machine. So there's the embossed piece for the front of the card, and I'm going to set that aside for the moment. Bring in a mat to act as a cushion. Use a scrap piece of basic white, and you want to stamp the head of the lavender, and I'll stamp that again but without re-inking, and then stamp another in the dark colour. Swap ink pads to shaded spruce, and I want to stamp this. Set these pieces aside ready for die cutting. Now I want to stamp the inside of the card. I'm going to stamp sprigs, and we're going just to do half and then the other half. You see that this sentiment is really rather long and it won't fit across the card the whole way. Okay, so I actually stamped it in 2 halves. So a way to do that is to mount your stamp so this portion isn't attached to anything. Ink it up, and make sure that this section isn't inked up. Now when I mounted my stamp, I looked at it from this angle and lined it up with the grid paper to make sure that it was straight. So if my block is parallel to the edge of the paper, you can stamp. So you are loved. Clean the stamp realign it again against the grid paper. Make sure your block is straight, the word is straight. So only ink up that part of the word. Make sure that the L hasn't got any ink on it. So that is straight, and stamp underneath. And then you can glue it to the inside of your card. Next step to do is to die cut the lavender. I'll have to cut that 3 times. So same sandwich, platform 1, platform 2, which is the thin die adapter, followed by the cardstock and the die cutting edge face down, then your second platform 3. Now a tip with this, there are 3 little holes here, so you want to make sure that you can see the stamped image underneath, and then you know you've got your die in the right position. Okay, I'm going to put the die over the paper because I want to find the centre. Then stamp Happy Mother's Day in Gorgeous Grape, which is darker than the Highland Heather, so you don't lose the sentiment. Some tape on there to stop it from moving, and also the Happy Mother's Day sentiment. So I'm going to have to cut this another 2 times, but I'll run that through the machine and I'll be back. So there are my die cut pieces. Now I want to add colour to my butterfly. I think these ones are too big and it's disproportionate to the card, so I think I'll choose this one. Attach this to the front of the card first. The 2 darker ones are at the back and the lighter one is at the front. Put some glue on here. And some dimensionals on the back. Remove the backing tape. Dimensionals on the back of the Mother's Day sentiment as well. Bring in the ink. Start with the lighter ink, which is Highland Heather. Be careful with the antennae because it's so fine that you could bend it backwards and damage it. Switched ink pads to the darker Gorgeous Grape, and if I put my finger there I can just do the body in a darker colour, and I only want the tips of the wings to be darker. Voila, that's how the butterfly will look. I'm going to put my fingernail there and then just pop that up. Oh, I want to do the back as well, don't I? Because that will show. And pop it here. Last thing to do is pop a purple fine shimmer. This is a bit empty, so I might put a couple there. And I think we can declare that finished. No, it's not. I forgot the ribbon. So let's thread that through. and tie a bow. And get the scissors and trim it off. There you have it. Now I can declare it finished. So they're both a little bit different because of the fact that they're different butterflies. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial, and do give me a thumbs up if you liked it. I'd appreciate it ever so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.